Greetings all and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a Japanese dish called omurice. Omurice is essentially a chicken-laced rice dish topped with silky eggs that could either be scrambled or turned into like a French-ish style omelet. Then depending on who you ask, what restaurant you're at, or what region you're in, it's topped with a sauce. And that sauce can be like a meat sauce, a Japanese curry, ketchup, a demi-glace. I mean, there's a lot of different sauces. So in Japan, this dish is referred to as yoshoku. I think I'm pronouncing that right. In other words, a Japanese interpretation of Western style cuisine. Omurice is a quick, soul-warming dish that is commonly cooked at home. But when I was in Japan, I noticed it at a bunch of sort of Western style diners. At a lot of these diners, they chose to use ketchup for the topping sauce. And I'm probably going to lose a bunch of you for saying this, but I actually really do not like ketchup. Or at least like 95% of the time, I don't think ketchup should be on anything. It has its time and place for certain dishes, really French fries, and honestly most of the time like not even on French fries. Anyways, I could go on, but I'm gonna cut myself off. I'm going to 86 the ketchup and reach for demi-glace, which is really just a reduced, thickened, umami-rich veal stock. Anyways, let's get after it. Top and tail one large onion and then dice it up. And remember, don't be a wasteful Willy. Slice that onion up until you get to the way end and then give it even more choppage. Remember to wipe down your cutting board and your knife after working with onion. They tend to leave unwanted oniony traces and aromas behind. No bueno. Reach for the fresh parsley and give it a little choppy. Now we're going to take 2 chicken thighs and remove the skin simply by peeling it off. Set these skins aside and do not throw them away. These skins are slammed full of chicken fat, which we will use later on. With the skin off, remove the thigh bone with your knife, or you can just buy skin-on boneless thighs, either one. Then go ahead and slice the thigh into thin strips. Once in strips, line them up and cut across to form like little chicken cubes.
If I can find it.
Now we have our chicken thigh diced up and our skins ready for rendering. Alright, so place the chicken skins you just peeled into a cold pan. We're going to render or coax out the fat from these skins by bringing them up to medium heat from 0. So yeah, I got a little too excited with the heat and accidentally charred my chicken skins a little past al dente. It's no matter, I got the chicken fat that I needed and a little blackened chicken skin never actually killed anyone. Place those crunchy skins aside, we will use them later. With the chicken fat in the pan, throw in a knob of butter and move it around until it's melted, then add your diced onions. Lightly season the onions and sweat them down until they're super fragrant. Now pop in the cubed chicken thighs and move everything around. You'll notice that your chicken thighs and onions may start to caramelize a bit, which is totally a good thing. Remember, browned food equals tasty food. Next, spoon in the rice. If possible, use day-old leftover rice. Day-old rice is better at absorbing external flavors than fresh rice due to it being slightly dried out. But if all you have is fresh rice, that totally works fine too. It is time to sauceify the rice. I am going to use demi-glace as I mentioned, but you can use whatever sauce you'd like. What I'm going for here is a dark, seasoned, almost chicken fried rice situation. Mix things around and declumpify the rice with a spatula or whatever other tool you want to use. So at this point everything tasted as it should, but I wanted my rice a little darker, so I added a dash of dark soy sauce to achieve that color. Speaking of which, remember, make sure you are the master of your domain and always taste as you cook. Next, using your mold of choice, pack in some of your seasoned rice. In Japan, it's common to see this dish plated in an oval or football-shaped fashion, but here I'm just using this little chawan to achieve circular excellence. Pop the rice down onto the plate and leave it in the mold. We are not done here yet. It's going to take time to make the egg topper. The way I do the eggs for this is by making a kind of French style omelet. Whisk 4 eggs with a fork in a large bowl, adding a dash of water to thin things out. This part is totally optional, but I find that it allows for a silky smooth egg topper. Using a fine mesh strainer, run your eggs through the strainer, tapping the side of the strainer until everything falls through the strainer. Using a non-stick pan, melt a knob of butter down over low heat. Add in the egg mixture. At this stage, it's important to keep things in motion. I like to shake the pan with my offhand while simultaneously making mini swirls with my main hand. Just remember to squeegee down the sides of the pan. Cooking the eggs this way over low heat is much more forgiving than doing it fast and hot. Take your time with this step, your eggs will eventually begin to come together. Lightly begin to uplift the eggs towards the back of the pan, directly opposite of the handle. Use gravity to your advantage and lift the pan if you need to. Here I tried making an oval-shaped omelet and kind of did it, but it's totally alright to go for more of a cigar-shaped omelet, which works totally fine too. Plating time. Pan in hand, remove the mold covering the rice. Gently finagle the omelet on top of the rice. I like to call this part the unzipping of the omelet. Use a knife to cut lengthwise down the omelet, allowing the soft egg to drape over the chicken rice. If done properly, the egg should fall over the rice on its own, but no worries if your egg needs a little persuasion, just work with it. Now we finish with a healthy dousing of demi-glace over the top and around the sides. Garnish with a pinch or two of the fresh parsley. And to incorporate a little texture, I'm going to add a few of those lovely crispy chicken skins that we rendered out earlier, just all chopped up real nice. There we have it, what I'm calling my version of Japanese Omurice. Alright, it's time to slice into this baddie. I really wanted to show you guys the core of the dish surrounded by the egg without completely obliterating it, so I cut a little pie-shaped cross-section. And a man can only wait so long, I had to go in. Between the silky eggs, the unctuous chicken rice, umami-rich demi-glace, and that grassy fresh parsley, though it's not super traditional, I count this dish as a big W. There you have it, Omurice, or at least my interpretation of it. It's quite straightforward once you nail down the egg component. And even if the eggs take you like 7 times to make super silky and good, that's just 7 more times you get to eat the delicious chickeny rice. And guys, remember, cooking at home is not about perfection. So don't let a dish that includes a tougher technique dissuade you from trying it out and cooking something new. Your time at home is time to practice and hone your skills. Anyways, as usual, if you dug this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. And until next time, check you later.